Hey everybody, welcome back to JuJu's Journey. If you're new here, my name is Angela. I'm 58 years old. I'm a widow. And today I want to talk about something that's been on my heart. I think a lot of us believe that we should have life all figured out by the time we're 58 years old. But the truth is, I don't have my life figured out. And maybe you don't either. I don't know. But the things that I have learned since I became a widow is life doesn't go as planned. And of course we know that. We've raised our children and you had to deal with things one day at a time, right? Like the things that you thought would happen, things change, people get sick. We've all gone through trials and tribulations that impact our lives tremendously. Like I've lost my parents. I was sick for a while. My husband had to take care of things that I never in my wildest dreams thought that he would have to take care of. I shouldn't say so much. But at the end of the day, you still knew kind of like what you thought your future would look like. And never in a million years did I think a year and a half ago that my future would be what it is right this moment. But life goes on. You have to continue. And so I'm trying to rebuild my life, grieve, do all these things that I was not expecting myself to have to do, you know? Like, I don't know. If you had told me several years ago, or any time, that I would be sitting here talking to a camera about grief, my budget, even trying to rebuild my eBay business, or even starting over at 58, I would have told you you were crazy. Because, you know, I'm supposed to be riding around with my husband right now in a convertible. We had a checkoff list that we were going to do. We were eventually going to venture out of the state, but I told him I wanted to see my state first. And so one night, I went through and wrote down every single town we had in South Carolina. And then I cut up all the little pieces of paper. I wrote them and put them in a bag. And so we were supposed to, one day a week, we weren't going to do it on the weekends, but I think it was going to be like on Tuesdays or when, it wasn't a set date, but you know how I have to have a plan, even though it doesn't always work out like that. We were supposed to pull out a new town to go visit. And in that process, if we went through some of the towns that were in our, on that journey, of course we would visit those towns as well. And our point was I was going to research the route that like whatever I drew out of that bag, of course we would have like a road map of how we would get there. And I would research all those little towns and try to figure out like cute little thrift stores, maybe some places that are interesting in those towns to go visit, like historical markers or parks or flower gardens, things of that nature, and cute little restaurants. And we would go wake up early in the morning and just go on an adventure and just kind of plan ourselves that day, driving, spending the whole day together and seeing our state, even our countryside. We would have taken the main route. We would have taken the scenic route. That's what we always like to do. But, of course, that's not what I'm doing. You know, I'm not doing that right now. That doesn't mean that can't happen. But that's not that goal is not my new goal. My new goal is just surviving day by day And that you would have never thought that I would be talking to a camera and saying all this to somebody. And so now I find myself waking up every morning. Some days I feel motivated, and some days I don't. But you know what? That's okay, right? I would imagine that's just normal. You know, I'm rebuilding my finances on my own, on my fixed income. You might be doing the same thing. I'm trying to sit here and be interested or be interesting enough for us to have a community here on YouTube. That may or may not happen, but I'm going to still keep trying because I feel like this is a good outlet for myself to express how I'm feeling and how I'm moving forward. And if I can help one person in this process, that's all that matters. But I'm really hoping that we can form a community here and help each other. So hopefully, you know, one video at a time, we'll start building something great. That's part of the reason I'm doing this. I've got 2 eBay orders I've got to get out, so I do need to focus a little bit more on eBay. So, you know, I've got to be motivated about that a little bit. I'm trying real hard. And it's really hard to, especially when my brain is going, it won't stop thinking. I do have the ADD, so my brain never shuts off. And it's really hard for me to get up and stay focused and not like try to go to the next thing. But I'm also, when your brain is grieving or when you've had trauma, it's hard to process everything that's happening around you. Like, life is still going on. You still have to make major decisions. In my case, everything should be settled by now with my husband's estate. Like, it should be over. I was the sole beneficiary. All of our finances were together. There wasn't really anything to probate. You get what I'm saying? It should have been done in 7 months and out. And then I could just move on. But I'm still dealing with my husband's estate due to his mother's estate. And that's been a very long process, over 3 years, and still going strong, and nothing has still been settled. So I kind of feel like I'm stuck in limbo from being able to completely move on and kind of have the plans that I want to achieve. You know, I have my vision board right behind me, and part of that vision board is to have a family compound. I don't know if I've told you about that, but family compound is right here in the center. I want a community building with my family, right? I want to go on a family, this is mountain vacation, but this year it's going to be a beach vacation. So that will happen because we've already booked the house. I want to build a future that my family can prosper from. I want to save money so I don't spend, so dreams can come true. I want to focus on my business. I want to make money so I can hopefully get some of these things taken care of instead of trying to depend on that $3,000 a month. I want to build a new house, a small house, guys, small, not big, small. I want to be 6 months ahead on my living expenses. And I also want to have $20,000 that I've saved in my emergency fund. And I want to fix my house so I can sell it. There's some things I need to do. And I want to settle this estate so I can move forward. But all of those things that I just said are things that I've got to keep in my head. Does that mean all of those are going to come exactly true in the way I envision them? Maybe not. But if I stop dreaming, then I'll be stuck. Because like I told you before, I am completely happy getting up, drinking coffee, watching YouTube, because I don't have cable, watching all of my YouTube channels, eating lunch with my children every day, just only spending time at my house. I don't have to leave my house to be happy. I can go next door, visit. I have to make myself do things. I used, several years ago, I wasn't like that. But I can get up and put on a fresh pair of pajamas, take a shower, get dressed in a new pair of pajamas, and be happy. Like, that's a successful day to me, is not leaving my house. Like, that is a happy day. But I don't need for that to be my happy day. I am more than that. And you're more than that. God didn't put us on this earth just to stay in our pajamas and piddle. And it's already 11:37 and I haven't done anything except get dressed today that I said I was going to do this morning. But I'm not going to give up. I am dressed. I did put on makeup. So I'm going to go and try to accomplish everything that I can possibly accomplish today. And if I don't accomplish everything, that's okay. But it's better than staying stuck in my pajamas. So I did get out of bed today. That's a check. I showered. That's a check. I got dressed in clothes, not pajamas, although it's a comfy dress. I love this dress. Check. I put on makeup. That's really a check. I'm going to go to the grocery store and buy groceries for the whole entire week. And that's going to be a triple, quadruple check. I'm not going to DoorDash this week. No, I'm not. But I am kind of thinking that my son-in-law is going to work from home today. And he can. He's got a home office. So we will not be going next door. I'm kind of thinking, since it's already 11:38, that the daughter that I'll meet for lunch, maybe we can meet for lunch. And then I can leave from there and go do all the errands. And then that'll be kind of like a social outing, as well as me accomplishing some of these other items off my list, right? I'm still trying to learn how to enjoy life while I'm still carrying all this grief. I thought it was going to get easier as time went by, but it's not. I feel like it's getting heavier, and I don't like that feeling. I can tell there's another change happening in my life. I think my children and I leaned on each other so much, but now everybody's starting to not pull away, but we're kind of like now giving each other, like I'm starting to eat at home at night by myself. Like life is changing in the way it should. Most grieving widows do not eat dinner with their children every night, and I know that. So, change, I had to make a change. But it kind of is scary. Not scary. I feel like, yeah, it is scary. the way I'm feeling is I thought my children were depending on me, but I think I was depending on them more. And now I've got to make the move to really depend on myself. And if that means I've got to get out and start socializing in different ways besides just with my children and just with my very best friend who has a husband and with my aunt. I need to kind of venture out and do other things. And I know that. And so I'm going to try. And this week I'm just going to try to not put myself out there. I don't see myself just starting gun-ho on, well, I do stuff like that. But no, I just want to try to do it gradually. Like I might need to reach out to someone and say, you want to grab lunch? And I might actually do that this week. There's one person that I would love to have lunch with. She's been a dear friend of mine since we were in kindergarten. Well, actually, first grade. And, you know, it's one of those things that you want to reach out, but then you just never do. She lives in my hometown, but that would be fun to get together and have lunch and kind of catch up. I think that would be awesome. And so I might need to put that on my to-do list and really do that. I just need to, like on these hard days, like this morning was hard. I don't know why. Just a hard day. When I woke up this morning, I just felt so heavy. And I know that you guys, I'm not alone in all of this. I'm not alone. I know there are so many people who even have it way worse than I do. I mean, I find myself fortunate in so many ways, but I'm not trying to compare my grief with anybody else's grief. I think we all have our own grieving journey, and we all have our own life journey that we're supposed to be on. So, you know, my thing is that even on my hard day or your hard day, we just have to still keep moving forward. Doesn't matter where you are in your grieving journey. It doesn't even matter if your grieving journey is just a divorce or moving and not having any friends, and so you're grieving over your hometown. It could be anything in life that's causing you a loss, you know? It could be your parents. You lost your parents, but you still have your husband. I know that whenever I lost my mom, it's not that my husband didn't understand. I just don't think men and women are the same. So I kind of felt alone. He was good. He was so good. But I just had to process it by myself, you know? And I think women do that in general. I just think that's our nature. I know when my husband lost his father, he would, I mean, even until, I mean, for years, he would randomly just say, I miss my dad so much. You know, men have to try to be strong and carry the burden for the whole family. But my husband was good at kind of releasing and talking about things. I've seen my husband cry many times. And that's very fortunate if you can get a man to break down his walls and release all of that stress and tension and things like that. But then women, on the other hand, I think we're worse than men. I don't think we let it out like we probably need to, you know? Maybe some do, but I feel like I just kind of bottle it up. and put on a strong face whenever I go out in public. I'm always smiling, and I've always been one to, I don't know, crack jokes, act. I don't know, I have a weird sense of humor. I talk to every single person I see out in public, whether I know you or not. It's like, hey, how are you? Are you doing good today? Good. Nice to see you. And I'm not faking. I legitimately like to talk to people. If I see somebody with a cute dress on or a cute outfit, I'm going to let them know. I like making faces at children. They're always like, they'll look at me and then I'll make a face at them. And then they'll start grinning and they'll make I just like human contact, which is so ironic that I have become kind of like a recluse in my own home. So I've got to work on that. If y'all have any pointers, let me know. And no, I'm not going to actually leave my house and go to therapy, although that might be a good idea. Might be a really good idea. I know I need lots of therapy. I could sit here and talk about my life and how I was raised, and I think it was wonderful. But whenever I start talking out loud about my life, it's like it's so wild and crazy. It would be like, girl, you need to go to counseling. But it was fun. Like, I didn't, I don't know. Like when your mama has you at 19 and you've never had your dad in your life, and then, I don't know, you've lived with your aunt and uncle and not your mom, but your mom was your mom and your aunt and uncle was your mom and dad. It's just weird. Like when you talk about it, it sounds so crazy and it sounds like it would be really hard on a kid, but it was normal and it was wonderful in my mind. I felt like I had kind of like the best of both worlds to a certain extent. But I think we all have all these things in life that make us who we are. And we don't need to give up. We just need to find your little light and keep letting it shine, I suppose. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. You know, I taught preschool for over 20 years, so I have children's songs in my head all the time. But anyway, I think if I could tell you something today, if you're going through something hard, I just want to tell you that I'm proud of you because you're not giving up. If you were giving up, you wouldn't be watching this video, right? And some days just us getting out of bed is a victory. And I'm proud that you got up and got out of bed today. Or maybe you're in bed watching this video. But I'm still proud that you're searching for something to help you, you know? I mean, I'm proud of you that you paid your bills today. Because that's a big deal. I'm going to go to the grocery store and you would think that it was like me going out climbing Mount Everest. I mean, I haven't gone to the grocery store in I don't know how long. I've been doing, like, letting DoorDash deliver my groceries. That's a big deal for me. I'm proud of myself well, I'll be proud after I do it. I plan on cooking this week. So if you get up and you cook and make dinner, I am so proud of you. You can do it. If I can do it, you can do it, okay? Like, you don't need, and I don't need to overlook these small moments. Life is hard. Life is so hard. But anyway, if you've watched this whole video, I just want to tell you thank you for spending part of your day with me. It really does touch my heart to know that even one person out there watching my video, it makes me happy. Thank you. And if you've enjoyed this conversation, you know, I would love for you to subscribe and join me here on my journey, JuJu's journey. And I would like us to have a community. I wish people would reach out and leave comments, and I would wish other people would read the comments and everybody just start talking to each other and help grow this community. I think that would be so great. So if you feel free to leave me a comment, even if it's just to say hello, but I would really like someone to say something that they did today, even as minute as taking a shower and putting on pajamas not to go anywhere today. Or if you actually got up and got dressed and did things today, please let me know what you did. Let me know what you did to get out of the funk that we may all be feeling, the people that are watching this. I think we need to build each other up and be strong. And I think with the encouragement of each other, we can do great things even at the old age of 58. My life isn't over. I think my old life is gone. This is my new life. So I've got to, I don't have, 58's not old, but I don't have but a certain amount of time to flourish with a lot of might. And I'm going to have to get on it. And you're going to have to get on it. So let's just do it together. Let's just do it together. Thank you so much for watching. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.